Well, hello, everybody. I hope everybody is having a fabulous day. I wanted to introduce myself. I am Michelle Henderson. I am a psychic medium in the Dallas Fort Worth area. And Cassie wanted me to come on and do a couple of shows. And I am also a member of the Stargazers and Odd Ends group as well. And so I said, oh, absolutely, because I know that we're all in the metaphysical community and I wanted to be able to share some knowledge that I have. And the one knowledge that I have recently, I have been on Facebook Live quite a bit since COVID-19 came out, and I haven't really had much to do. So, what is a girl to do? Let's go on Facebook Live and and experience it. So, and I'll show you how many times I have been on Facebook Live. So, if you are here, say hello and let me know that you are here and who you are. And if you have any questions along the way, please ask. My number one thing is if you don't have a Facebook Live or you have not done a Facebook Live show, why not? Cassie has done one. So, I think that is fabulous and it is totally different. I started public speaking about 20 years ago. And let me tell you, Facebook Live is nothing like public speaking. Because when you get in front of the camera, you don't see the audience. Because usually, whenever you're doing public speaking, you can look into the audience and see people laugh when you joke or not laugh, or see if they're enjoying it. And if they are, if they're sleeping or whatever, you don't see any of that, but you do see the comments. And of course, when you first start the Facebook show, you're not going to have many viewers because that's just how it is, because people have to check out who you are. And so a lot of times you are speaking to yourself. But how I practice is to actually practice in front of a mirror and just say over and over, and becomes muscle memory. You hear your voice, because the first thing you do is you hear your voice, you kind of go, ooh, I don't like that. So that starts a lot of time. So if anybody is missing this, it will be on the Stargazers page and also the Odd Ends. So you can watch it at a later time. But I do want to show you the different shows that I have actually started. And so this is the number one that I am so proud of. It's Wine and Spirit readings. Okay. And I've actually done 20 shows on this, and I can't believe that 20 shows of this week. So that's where I first started. And when I first started, I had, oh my gosh, 200 people. 2 people watching me. And now it's on the average about 300. So it's really jumped. So I'm really excited about it. And I have a great time, very good time on it. Okay, so I wanted to show you another one that I have done. Is also spiritual knowledge. Because I'm thinking, people really, I actually had a couple of people that were watching me, and they said, we want to ask you questions about being a psychic medium. And I thought, let's do that. Let's do more of a knowledge, because I used to be a school teacher too, and I love to do research on different topics, and there's so much to talk about. So I'll also do this weekly. Okay. So I just hopped right into it. So I've done about 5 shows on this. So I just recently has started on this one. All right. So then twice a month, I go on and I do surprise readings, and which is so much fun because people do not know whenever I'm coming on for surprise readings. So it's actually really good because I start it in an early afternoon, because a lot of people cannot see my shows in the evening. And so sometimes you can pick up different audiences, members, if you do it at a different time. Now, if you do create a show, you need to really make a specific time where you come on so people know where to find you, right? Now, the surprise readings, like I said, is a lot of fun. And it's very interesting when you get the same group that you did before, right? All right, so yes, I have another group. I know people are going to get so tired of seeing me on Facebook. But I started a group, and this is kind of, I felt like I was called to do this, but Stepping Stone Psychic Kids and Family Guidance. And I do go on, it is a private group, so it's totally different when you do a Facebook Live for a private group situation. So, people can't share or anything. But this is kind of a way I meet whoever is on the private group, the families and the parents, and we have meetings. And so, yes, I'm the one that mainly talks, but then they, are able to talk or write things in the comment section if they have any questions or anything, or if they can, we can meet on Zoom or video live if we not video live, Facebook video if we need to. So there are so many different ways that you can see people. All right. Now, my last group that I started, this is it. I know. Yeah, I know. It became an obsession, I think. So, I love to read. And so I have started Power of Storytelling, and it actually started as, hey, Cassie, as a podcast. And then once I started doing this podcast live, the Facebook Live, I thought, why don't I interview the authors live on Facebook Live on this page? And then I can also make it into a podcast. And I will definitely show you how to do that. But so, yeah, so I just started doing that. I've only interviewed one author because not all authors want to be interviewed. And if they don't, then I do a review of the book. So there's another page that I did. So there's so many different things that you can do whenever you get on Facebook Live. Hey, how are you? So I love how people are joining in. Hi, Cassie. Oh, and you rock too. You rock as well. So we definitely need to get Cassie on Facebook Live again. And maybe you and I can do a show together. I think that'd be awesome. Hey, Veta, how are you? Oh, I love the hair color. I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for letting me know that you were on. If you missed the first part, the video will be on these pages, so you can go back and watch that. Okay. So I'm going to show you why you need to do Facebook Live, okay? Because if you're starting out a business, especially in the psychic medium business, people need to know you. And when you get on Facebook Live, they really love it. You never know what may happen. Sometimes my dogs will start barking, and it's like, okay, well, that makes it more personal. I've watched other psychics do live Facebook, and their husbands walk into the room. So you just never know what will happen. So the first one is provides absolutely unique content. So whatever you are doing, whatever you're learning, oh, you do, oh, I do, good. And that's one of the questions I was actually going to ask is who does Facebook Lives out there? So that is awesome. Thank you so much for letting me know. So let me know that if you have any extra information of why we should do Facebook Live. Next week, I think I'm going to talk about the ins and outs of doing a Facebook Live. But if I talk about something or do not talk about something that you feel is vital about going on and why they should, definitely let us know, okay? All right, so everybody has different knowledge, and there is an audience out there. People during the COVID-19 lockdown, I mean, they have been going on. They've been reading children's books. They have really put themselves out there. And so it is, I mean, the world is a stage with Facebook Live, right? So you develop your own brand. And so what you really need to do is think about how unique you are. And you make a brand that shows you your authentic self, who you actually are. And you kind of do a little write-up on it. You may even okay. Yeah, I do them yes, absolutely. To generate yes, attract clients. Absolutely. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and put that up there as I got to finish my sentence. I do that. I get really distracted. But yeah, so anything that you're doing, you may also want, after you do your brand, do a Okay. Can you hear me now? Hopefully you can. I think what I did is I turned off my camera. So hopefully that will help. So let me know if can you hear me now? Okay, good. So sometimes I have to reset it and I don't know why it is. So I'm glad that you can hear me. So I'm going to kind of back off of, let's see, this Facebook Live. And if it happens, people are very forgiving and you just kind of carry on and you go on from there, right? Okay, good. And it kind of gets them. And now you kind of go, they're listening to me, right? So that's a way that you know that your audience is actually listening to you. So absolutely. So, okay, so number two, let me go back. I don't know if y'all have heard this or not, but if you use regular Facebook, it is definitely a free service to use, okay? And it creates a live action. So, like just like what happened will happen, you just got to laugh it off and go on, okay? You can't be a perfectionist. All right, so whenever you are selling things, it creates excitement around product release. So if you're selling like crystals and you get a product in and you want to tell about what you're selling, it really gets everybody excited about it. So that's another way that you can do, about product release. Okay. Thought it was me. Okay. So on number four, it connects you with your audience, which I love this because I feel like I'm already connecting or we're connecting because of the audio going off. We're kind of having a little conversation. People really connect with you and you start seeing the same people come when you're live, you start seeing the same people joining you. And it's really cool because that becomes like its own community. But what I did want to also show you is I wanted to show you this, and I know that you're not going to be able to see it. I'm going to see if I can hide this one. But this is very, very interesting. I love statistics. So at the very top, it kind of shows that responding to questions, that the audience really gets to know you, but 90% of the millennials, so I can't even talk now anymore, and 79% of the baby boomers say answering social media questions is cool and not annoying. And so asking people questions, it engages your audience. So just like, and I was going to say, really ask, well, who out there has done a Facebook Live? And, shoot, somebody's already answered that. So you may want to have a question of the day when you go on, and that really engages your audience. And Facebook actually puts that in your statistics, and it will show up. Your feed will show up more across different people and everything. So really take that into consideration to really, involve your audience. What I did on Monday is I had everybody a rating between 1 and 5, tell me how they were feeling. And that really kind of gauged on how the audience was feeling, if they were feeling happy, if, some people needed to be lifted up a little bit. It really got them going and felt a part of the show. So you really need to connect with you and your audience. All right, so the fifth one is increase awareness of community events. So whenever you schedule something, go on. If you're doing like a platform reading and you've got, event scheduled, and right now it may just be on Zoom, or it might be online, just go on there and explain to people what you're doing and when it is. Instead of just putting, a picture out and saying, okay, this is when the event is, go online. And it might be a 5-minute, show, but that's it. But the more you go on, the more you're going to generate an audience. Okay. So that answers number 6, is it's going to keep people coming back because they're going to be curious on what you have to say. So it's actually going to increase and drive more traffic to your Facebook page. And really my thought on that too is you will attract people with the same interest. You will attract people that really need to be a part of your audience. Because sometimes I'll go, all right, I have so many likes, I'm so excited. And then 2 people will leave. And it's like, oh, they don't like me anymore. But you know what? You can't take that personally. That just means that whatever you are providing is not meant for them. So you will, after a while, attract the right audience for you. Okay, and number 7, real-time engagements and track stats. So I love looking at stats. Okay, statistics. I don't know. I'm a nerd in that area, and this really makes you think about your show. How many likes you got? How many reactions you have? Shares is so important. If you have people sharing your pay when you're live, you will have over, sometimes you can get to 1K after a while, but that's usually after 30 shares. And so that really gets a lot of people on your page. And what I'm doing right now on my page, that if anybody shares, that they get in a drawing for a free wine glass. And so that really has gotten people to participate, and they really want that wine glass now. I mean, you don't have to do something expensive at all, just something to kind of engage your audience a little bit and give them some motivation to be a part of it. And then the mentions and the comments. And what I normally do is after every show, I always go back and I give hearts to anybody that says something or has something to share. I always say thank you for sharing, and that really feels like they are a part again of the audience. So thank you so much, Vet, for letting me know that she totally agrees. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show. And what I really like about this program, and I'm going to show you in just a few seconds, is it allows me to show the comments. Now, the regular Facebook Live won't allow you to do that, but start with Facebook Live first, because you really need to get your groove going, and that way you know what direction you're going with your show. Okay. All right. Now, Vet, do you have any question? Oh, Vet has something. Okay. So yes, I do that too. Giveaway in 20 minutes reading and a drawing. Love that idea. Yes. And you know what? I also started thinking, Vet, I want to share this with you as well. I have a hard time at the very beginning. You have a lot of people on watching. And then when you're doing, readings. And then all of a sudden towards the end, because after the reading, or if they know that they're not going to get a reading, they start getting off. So it's like they don't want to participate anymore. So what I'm thinking about doing starting next week, that if they comment after every reading that I do, okay, if they comment after every reading and then they show me that they're still there at the very end, then I'm going to put them in a drawing for a free reading. So I thought about that too, to keep the numbers up, because it seems like they're done, which I can understand, especially some nights you can't be there for a whole hour. Now I can understand that. So that's definitely something that I'm thinking about doing. Yes. How do you show the comments? Okay. So that's what I'm going to show you next. And this is what I love about it. Okay. Because I'm using a streaming service. Okay. And what there's several different streaming services that you can use. I use BeLive. It is so user friendly. I can put the comments up here. So whenever I'm doing a reading for somebody, I always put them right in the picture. Okay. I put them for center. And then that way, if you forget a name because you're so busy connecting with spirit, sometimes you'll forget a name and I'll look up and it's right there. And that way, I can keep the conversation with spirit going. And then everybody knows that somebody else, oh my goodness, you go on for 2 to 3 hours. Okay. So that way, everybody knows who's being read. And whenever they say hi, I always put their comments on. Again, it makes them feel like a part of the show. Okay, I'm very impressed that you go on for 2 and 3 hours. That is awesome, girl. That is really good. After a while, my voice starts cracking, and after an hour, that's totally when I have to say goodbye to everybody. So I'm definitely going to have to come watch your show, Vet. Okay, so there are different. BeLive and StreamYard are very, very similar. Okay, now BeLive is. And I don't want to. You can do the free version, but you can only do 3 shows. The other is $24 a month, but I use it, like I was saying, 5 to 6 days a week. And so it is well worth it. It's just a marketing expense that I have. But StreamYard, I'm not for sure how much it is, but it's very similar to BeLive. Okay. Now, these two, Ecamm and Open Broadcast software, I don't know how user friendly they are. I think you have to know a little bit about tech. So, but I just wanted to give you what other people use. Okay. But BeLive, I absolutely love. And they actually have videos that really help you to know how to go on Facebook Live. And I've used a lot of their ideas, a lot of their marketing tools. So they really keep it user friendly, and also they educate you on how to do marketing. Yes, exhausting throat chakra and rest. Yeah, I can imagine, because whenever I go to a psychic fair, I'm reading for a total of, oh my gosh, 6 hours sometimes, back to back, and the next day I'm in bed. So I know it's very, very exhausting. And so, yes, cheer you on for that. Good for you. Okay. So I think that is totally awesome. All right. So, Vet, is there anything else that I should share with them about Go on Facebook Live, since you are also pro? If there's anything else I need to, and again, next week, what I'm going to do is come on and talk about tools of the trade. The ins and outs of Go on Facebook Live, things I have learned. Of course, hopefully I convinced you need to go on Facebook Live, because again, if you have a business, you need to get out there, because the marketing tool is awesome. I've been in business before, and it's really hard. I mean, that was the day where we had to mail brochures out to everybody and hoping they got it in their mail. And it's like I would mail all these brochures, 100 people, cost a lot of money, and I get one phone call. So being on Facebook Live, it's another word, but you know what? Facebook Live too, you not only can talk to people in the United States, you can talk to people all over the world. So that's another thing, another good reason why you need to get on Facebook. Okay. All right. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. And yes, and I'll talk more about this next week. But I do actually have just an overhead light. I have a lamp that's behind my laptop. And then I have this wonderful, I just purchased this, okay? Yeti, and I love it. I used to wear a headset, and I just got to where I'm going, okay, I don't like my headset anymore. But my microphone on my laptop, it doesn't sound very good. And so, yes, I had to purchase this. And it was a great buy. I found it, I think it was $120, but the sound quality is so much better, okay, than what it is on my laptop. But if you can't afford it at a time, just do a little bit at a time, okay? But whenever I was doing only podcast, I did have a headset with a microphone, because no one was seeing me, and the sound quality was really good. But also had a microphone that would hang down right in front of me, and but I had to really find a soundproof room, and we'll talk more about that. Okay, so the audio went off again. No, I know it, right? I think this is really good, so people know that things like this can happen. So go on Facebook Live, start with 15 minutes, go up to 20, and sometimes technology will do this. Maybe there's a lot of energy in there. I don't know. That can happen too. All right, so everybody have a wonderful week, and again, go Facebook Live, and I'll see you next week.